How am I different to Suzi? I'm completely different. We're different people. We're genetically a totally different makeup.
The main difference between Tom and I is that he is more feminine.
I think the winner of this battle will be Suzi. She's much better and stronger than I am.
Believe it or not, I think I'm bitchier than Tom. And I'm going to take him down, and he's going to hate it.
It's best friend versus best friend. Go crazy for Tom Allen! And Suzi Ruffell! Well dressed, you two.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jimmy, what do you think about these two?
I mean, my gaydar is in the red.
What?
What was that?
I don't know, I was trying to do some sort of laddie banter.
Oh, it's good.
I don't really know what I've come to be honest.
Rules, Tom.
Oh, I love rules.
Okay, rule 1, 5 jokes each. Rule 2, nothing's off limits except for physical contact. And rule 3, don't stop until one of you is utterly ruined. Jimmy, who should go first?
It's LGBT, so L comes first, so Suzi.
Ready? Go gross!
Okay.
Dinner's ready.
So, Tom, you look fabulous. You always do. Some of you might not know this, but Tom dressed as a Victorian as a teenager to hide the fact that he was homosexual. It's true. Tom is very, very camp. In fact, Tom, if you were any more camp, you'd be in Calais with a Syrian inside of you.
So Suzi is a dear friend of mine, and she's probably the funniest 11-year-old boy I have ever met. I mean, I'm not saying Suzi's a stereotype, but she's got her own parking space at Wickes. I mean, I'm not being funny, she's got more boots than the Third Reich.
I think we can all agree, recently, Tom, you're a dear friend of mine. We've been best friends for years, and just recently your career has completely taken off. Oh. And it's an absolute joy to watch, and I think we can all agree, whenever we see Tom Allen on TV, all we are thinking is, Joe Lycett was asking for too much money.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think so.
Suzi does a lot of yoga, don't you, dear?
I do.
And I think she's only doing it so one day she can bend over far enough backwards to be able to pull a proper joke out of her ass.
It's fine.
I don't know if that suits me at all.
No, it didn't suit you. It was
I
a bit
didn't like
mean.
that gun thing at the end, did you?
No, that was very
violent.
aggressive, yeah.
Very American for me, I'm afraid. What was that?
A lot of you might not know this. Tom is also an actor. He was in the film Starter for 10.
Yes,
with James McAvoy, Benedict Cumberbatch, and James Corden. What an incredibly talented cast of people. And Tom Allen.
Suzi lives in the East End of London. I'm not saying she's a hipster, but 1870 telegrammed and they want their clothes back. Also, Suzi puts so many selfies on Instagram, I thought they'd added a lesbian filter.
Last joke. Okay. Tom's love life is so tragic. It's even more tragic than the fact that he still lives with his mum. Tom is so bad at maintaining a relationship, even his hair left him when he was 22.
It's like being Bugsy Malone. They say dress for the job you want, and looking at Suzi, usually... No, sorry, I've already fucked it up, haven't I? Already fucked it up. Come on. The pubs are closing in a minute.
Tom, it must be embarrassing because your suits are made of better material than what you have.
No, they say dress for the job you want. And looking at Suzi, I imagine she wants the job of top boy in a forthcoming film about Millwall hooliganism. I've been spending so much time with Burch, they've started calling me the Sundance Kid.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Right, did we do it like you do it in America?
Is that right?
Not at all.
Not at all.
What do you think, Russell?
This is the kind of great British roasting that will make the Americans surely wish that they had reinstated our monarch or never got rid of her. These queens are made for governing. We saw...
God save the Queen!
God save her, yes. Good work. Tom, your meta comment about the gunshots, a brilliant political satire there, and a reference to our own rather more gentle culture, where, well, for example, you, Moses, you've been here, in London for weeks now, and no police officer has shot you. Congratulations.
Thank you, London. Thank you, Britain. I really appreciate that.
This is roasting from Blighty. This is how we do roasting on these islands. This is roasting with a tiara on it.
Thank you, Russell.
Thanks, Russell.
Catherine, what do you think of these two? Excellent.
I absolutely loved it. Tom, you were really camp. Suzi's the kind of girl who I let finger me at camp. It was just so wonderful. And I thought that you had so many great jokes. I loved that if Tom were any more camp, he'd be Calais with a Syrian inside of him. Who wouldn't want an afternoon like that?
OK, let's get to scoring on this. What do you think, Russell? Who did you have as the winner?
It's very, very difficult, as Catherine has already intuited, because it was very much a roast of two halves. You started so strong there, Tom, but perhaps, I don't know if you were put off by the array of post-apocalyptic sound effects, and the set itself maybe made you feel out of place. And I noticed the Suzi kept getting stronger and stronger, the whirling dervish, the harlequin outfit, the elegance, the sort of crushing femininity and unobtainability of a gay woman. In the end, I yielded to the charm of Suzi, and for me, she is the champion of this particular duel.
Thank you, Russell.
I thought they were both absolutely brilliant, but I would say that Suzi had the better roast.
Tom, for what it's worth, I thought you had the better jokes tonight, but let's go with democracy here. Suzi Ruffell is the winner.
Ed put a lot of effort into losing a lot of weight, so he's obviously very sensitive about his appearance. This will be what I focus on. Here's my game plan with Phil Wang. Go straight for the jugular with racial humour, and if they don't work, I'm calling immigration. If he makes a joke about my race, they'll call the police and they will come and arrest him, and then I think I will win by default. Here's what I'm afraid of from Phil Wang. He's a sharp, quick-witted young gentleman, and also, if his jokes fail, he can just pull some kung fu out, probably.
Give it up for Phil Wang!
And Ed Gamble.
Woo! Jimmy.
It's nice that we've had, because we had Suzi on the first roast, and then we have another lesbian. You looking forward to this, Catherine?
Oh, absolutely. I'm a big fan of both these lovely boys. I want to see what they do to each other. If we had, like, Phil's brain with Ed's looks and my dick, it would be, like, the perfect man.
I would argue that's slightly too much dick, but OK. Give us the rules, Brian. Tell us what's going on.
Okay, here are the rules. Rule 1, 5 jokes each. Rule 2, no physical contact. And Rule 3, Rule 2 wasn't a rule. Physical contact was just what Jimmy didn't get enough of as a kid. Jim, what do you want to say go first?
Phil doesn't look as if he ever got picked for anything first, so I want to go Phil.
Are you guys ready? Are we ready?
Ed Gamble looks like a YouTuber who denies the Holocaust.
Making fun of my alt-right haircut, that's what we're doing? You're jealous because you can't have this haircut because you'd look like Kim Jong-un. The problem with roasting a Chinese comedian is that you feel very satisfied afterwards, but then about an hour later you want to do it all over again. Phil was actually raised in Malaysia and is now doing quite well in comedy, but unfortunately his career will go the way of most Malaysian things. Take off before mysteriously disappearing.
What matters is the blowjobs you get on the flight along the way. Now, Ed used to be very, very fat, which is something you'd only find out if he ever talks to you for more than 7 seconds. Ed lost 6 stone in 2012 after a scare that he might have had something interesting about him. Losing all that weight does have its downsides. Ed's face now has more wrinkles in it than my bed sheets after I fuck his dad on them. Which I do regularly.
Phil is so sexually naive that when his girlfriend asked him for a 69, he cooked her a chicken chow mein.
Well, that's nothing. Ed's girlfriend is such a dog, I tried to eat her.
Such a notorious premature ejaculator that if he doesn't come within 30 minutes, you get free prawn crackers.
When Ed isn't modeling tiki torches for Breitbart, or helping teens pray the gay away, he likes to go to heavy metal rock concerts because you never truly stop being a fat loser.
Phil has 2 younger sisters, which means his parents are so ashamed of him that they risk their lives to defy the one-child policy.
Last joke.
Okay. Ed Gamble has type 1 diabetes, which means his pancreas can't produce enough insulin to adequately regulate his blood glucose levels, the stupid cunt.
Katie Melua says there's 9 million bicycles in Beijing, so why don't you try using one of them, you fat prick?
Well done. Ed Gamble, Phil Wang.
I mean, I've got no complaints there. There were brutal, funny, personal, awful jokes about each other. So funny, so great. I mean, the fact that in one of the jokes, you fucked his dad. That wasn't even a joke aimed at you. You went there. So you used to be 6 stone heavier.
Heavier than this, yes.
OK. Now, if you could roast your old, fat self, what would you have said?
I'd probably say, don't lose too much weight, otherwise you end up looking like Jimmy. No, I mean, no offence, Jimmy, but you look like a marionette of a paedophile.
Russell, what did you, you witnessed this mayhem, this unkindness. What did you think?
What we got there was one of the great classic plays in roasting where there was a built-in interaction between the two. I think the sequence we saw that began with the dad fuck from Phil carried through to the 69 brilliant, I would say, inversion of a racist stereotype sexual position. And in fact, the 69 is an inversion. It works on so many bloody levels. Now we're at some new pinnacle. Surely there are no new kingdoms left to conquer, but we're straight back with the dog-eat moment there. Reclamation definition of a racist stereotype rendered in a beautiful post-structuralist way in, may I say, a wonderful blouse. That was perhaps a concerto of roast. This is roasting if Mozart had to roast Beethoven.
What did you think, Catherine?
I thought it was amazing. You didn't waste any words. It was a lovely, quick, like, cutting-to-the-bone roast. Phil, as someone who went to Cambridge and was accepted into the Footlights, I'm glad to see someone like that finally get a break on TV. It was so good. It does look like a YouTuber who denies the Holocaust. And...
I'm not a YouTuber, though.
No. I love them both so much. Do I have to choose first?
Yeah.
I think I loved it so much. Already, I'm not satisfied, and I wish I could see you do it again. I'm gonna pick Phil.
Thanks. What do you think, Russell?
It's competitions like this that make judging roasting such a challenge. I lose a lot of sleep over the decisions I make here, but I do have to say that because of the bathos, the sheer bathos of the diabetes joke, I'm gonna have to go with Phil there.
I scored it as fairly as I could. I think, Ed, you edged it 3-2 in terms of jokes, but Russell and Catherine have gone with Phil. Phil, you have won this roast.
Thank you very much. Phil Wang's the winner! Hug it out.
My tactic is to be smart, to be evil, and to reach into a deep pit of rage inside myself that has nothing to do with Daniel and let him deal with it.
My tactics are to go for the fucking jugular. I'm gonna test the limits of mine and Desiree's friendship and hope she has the decency to forgive me.
I'm going to shiv Daniel emotionally, and then I'm gonna shiv him after the show.
It's Scotland versus America. Who's ready to see this battle? We're going crazy for Desiree Burch. And Daniel Sloss. Here are your rules. Rule 1, 5 jokes each. Rule 2, nothing is off limits except for physical contact. And rule 3, don't look Jimmy in the eye or else we have to reboot him. Jimmy, who do you want to see go first?
I think Daniel should go first because after Desiree sings, I think it's over.
All right, Dan, are you ready? You ready, Des?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Before I start, I'd like to point out that I'm very aware that currently race tensions are high, UK-US relationship tensions are high, feminism is rightfully on the rise, and fat activism is gaining traction. So I'd like to first start off by thanking Comedy Central for this fucking minefield. What can I say about Desiree Burch that hasn't already been shouted at the rallies in Charlottesville? Desiree is an exceptional human being, and by that I mean you're an exception to the term Black Lives Matter.
Oh my God, Daniel, you made me laugh out loud. Thought I was gonna have to fuck you for that to happen, so. What you need to know about Daniel is that his career started at 16 when his mom got Frankie Boyle to read some of his jokes. And he is the only one here who doesn't understand that's a post-blowjob conversation, all right? I'm sorry, but your mom has fucked so many comics, it's amazing you're not a comedian.
Oh, that was a great one, Rosa Parks. Desiree actually comes from the French word for desired, and Burch comes from the German word for by absolutely fucking no one.
Okay, look, it's really hard to talk about looks with someone who looks like a default social media avatar, but we'll go ahead and go for it. Daniel, you have dick-sucking lips and aspiring alcoholic face. You look like an All Lives Matter rally fuck somebody's gap year.
Good one, Martin Luther Burger King.
I shouldn't be laughing at it, but it really is funny.
Desiree is an American comedian, and her career is on a great trajectory. But let's not forget that so were the 9/11 planes for the first 25 minutes. Were you there?
Daniel, you are a Fisher-Price feminist who is clearly trying to seduce your female audience members with all that edgy material everyone already agrees with. You literally fuck so much of your front row, I'm surprised you don't have AIDS. No, I'm sorry. I'm surprised that your AIDS isn't showing.
Good one, Malcolm XXL.
Last joke.
Desiree used to be a dominatrix. Sorry, a dominatrix. I hear you turned to sex work to put food on the table, and I see you've been very busy.
Oh, okay. All right, super gonorrhea is patient zero, okay?
Good one, Condoleezza special fried rice. It's a well-known fact that Desiree used to be a dominatrix, but what is less known is the fact that the band Muse actually wrote a song about her. Supermassive Black Hole.
I mean, look, I'm not offended, honestly, if I hit you in the face, would Pez come out of your neck? It is true, though, I did used to be a dominatrix, and actually, Daniel is the reason that I quit. Like... One look at that face, and I knew I could never stop punching it. It's like, seriously, you look like your high school voted you most likely to cry while ejaculating.
Daniel! Desiree! Make some noise!
I mean, that was an incredible standard. Desiree, you were fantastic, but like an American cop, you kept on shooting back, Daniel. I thought it was an amazing standard. I mean, it was properly what the roast battle was all about. It was fabulous. Well done, guys. Great stuff. What did you make of this, Russell?
I thought it was very lovely that you were laughing at one another's jokes as it was going along. It made me feel very, very deeply relieved that there was at least some sort of polar opposite to some of the cruelty exhibited. Well done. I suppose we should enjoy your bravery in using some of the great leaders of the civil rights movement as cutting puns to an African-American woman. That's to be celebrated in some ulterior world that we've entered into.
Let's take a moment to discuss some of those puns. Rosa Parks, Martin Luther Burger King, Malcolm XXL, Condoleezza special fried rice. Can we ask about the dominatrix years?
Yeah, sure.
When that comes up, I'm kind of made of questions. What's the weirdest request you ever got?
I mean, can I say any of it on television?
Oh, we actually have, like, client privilege, so she can't say.
So what's the weirdest thing you got asked to do in those years?
Let's see. I think there was to be someone's dentist and actually use, like, injections and tools as he jacked off to getting his teeth pulled. I mean, it's just one long, endless night of requests at 4 in the morning to get your ball stepped on. You don't have to feel alone anymore, is what I'm trying to say.
Catherine, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I hate in a roast, especially when people won't comment on women's looks or comment on their size. I don't feel like that's feminist. I think it's like, oh, they're not funny, they won't get it. And I think the fact that you really went for Desiree shows how much you respect her as a comic. You guys could have a baby and it would still come out looking German. Daniel, you are the 15th most ethnic-looking person from Scotland.
You look like an X-ray of yourself.
Desiree, I thought that you were so funny tonight, and I think Desiree is the winner for me.
Okay. Russell, what do you think?
Jimmy, I think that I have to say, Daniel, on account of his continual misuse of great heroic figures of history, because I was afraid of Desiree's willingness to perform dentistry without a licence for perverts. So I would say Daniel in this instance.
Daniel? Okay, well, I've got the deciding decision. I'll work with both of you. I love you both. But I think you had slightly better jokes this evening. I think Daniel Sloss is our winner tonight.
Daniel Sloss is your winner! Hug it out!
I've Googled Nick Helm, got some stats about him, and written hurtful jokes about him.
I've Googled a lot of recipes, and I've gone through like all my cookbooks, you know, Delia, Nigella. I've got an old Gary Rhodes one.
How am I different to Nick Helm? One of us is a camp, cock-loving little queer, and then there's me, Joe Lycett.
The secret really is you can get away with any old stuff. It's the gravy is what you want to do.
You know that it's a comedy roast.
Oh.
Give it up for Joe Lycett! And Nick Helm!
Let's do a roast. I'm ready to be hurtful.
Fuck you! Here are your rules, gentlemen.
What are the rules?
Rule 1, 5 jokes each.
5? Only 5? But I've so many horrid things to say to this fat prick.
Rule 2, nothing is off limits except for physical contact.
Oh, sauce.
Oh. Rule 3, be funny. This isn't Mock the Week.
That is a respected British format. I agree, I've never been booked on it.
Jimmy, which one of these weirdos you want to see go first?
I mean, I love both these guys. I mean, I've seen them live, they're incredible. I would say...
No, you haven't.
I've seen you live, yeah.
Fuck off, you've been to my show. When have you been to my show?
You can always tell when he's in because of his laugh, but he just didn't find you funny, mate.
Do your nails match your shoes?
Not quite. This colour is, Oh, what the fuck is the colour now? I think it's like a kind of coffee...
Come on, I'm so fucking nervous! Let's just get this out of the way!
But no, the shoes are from Zara.
Fuck's sake, Joe!
You all right, Nick? Nick, you're gonna be okay.
Just get on with it!
Okay. Joe is, you're pansexual, aren't you? I think you should go first, because you don't care what goes where or who.
All right, Joe, you ready?
No.
Nick, are you ready? Perfect.
Nick Helm, you twat. You're like if you inject the DNA of a teddy bear into a dead tramp.
If you think Joe looks familiar, that's because he probably reminds you of his nan's mate, Pat.
Oh, it's on. Nick's very talented, actually. He's a singer, he's a dancer, he's an actor, he can do all sorts of things. In the industry, he's known as a triple threat. In real life, he's known as a triple heart bypass waiting to happen, you fat prick!
so fucking lame that he's my own mum's favourite comedian.
I knew you'd go low, but not as low as your ticket sales, Nick.
I've not come here to be insulted, Joe. Joe had a book out last year, and he was so worried about sales that I went from bookshop to buy all the unsold copies at great expense to myself, and just so he didn't feel so bad about it.
Thanks, mate. I love you, Nick.
Let it happen. Let this happen.
They've really committed to this bit.
I like it. They've taken the show in another direction. And I think that we should follow these brave young innovators into whatever world they want to lead us in.
That was like a vote for marriage equality right there.
I think what burst through there was very definitively and identifiably love. Well done. Disgusting. Beautiful. Congratulations. It's a tie. I mean, Jesus is the real winner. But a kind of homoeroticized Jesus. Congratulations. Pioneers. Well done.
I like the fact as well, you didn't compromise anything about who you are as performers for roast battles, and that is, I mean, it's fabulous. You made the What do you think? Who we got as a winner?
I'm going to choose, on this occasion, though they were both brilliant, Joe Lycett.
This was an extraordinary contest, but once that image of their tramp and teddy bear DNA was evoked, my heart, even though it was Joe that said it, I kind of fell in love with dear Nick for a moment. I'm going for Nick.
I mean, I've got to call this one way or the other. I think on the basis of, I mean, it's very tough because I think you're both incredible, but just because, Joe, you made the first move, I'm going to say Joe Lycett.
Joe Lycett wins! You guys don't help him out, but do it again.
You don't need to be married to Harriet to roast her. You can just spend 20 minutes with her and you'll have all the ammunition you need.
I'm different to Bobby in many ways. I wear underwear, I shower, and I'm kind to animals.
The reason me and Harriet are together is because we're both scumbags. Everyone thinks she's so nice, but she's not. And today, I'm excited to expose her for the liar she is to the whole world.
Give it up for Bobby Mair. And Harriet Kemsley.
Just one last time, you know?
Rule number 1 is 5 jokes apiece. Rule number 2, nothing is off limits except for physical contact. This isn't your honeymoon. Don't touch each other. Rule number 3, remember, only God can judge you. And Jimmy, Catherine, and Russell. Jimmy, who do you want to see go first?
Well, they say women and children first, and since Harriet is definitely one of those, Harriet.
Thank you.
Are we ready for this?
Yeah!
Are we ready for this?
Okay, I love you. But marrying you was the biggest mistake I ever made since going on a first date with you. My parents parents were happier when I was diagnosed with chlamydia than when you proposed. Some people, they say that men should marry their mother, but I don't think that's true because I'm not a dead prostitute.
All right, well, before I get started, there is something I have to tell you, and I've waited till now to do it. I'm bisexual. But don't worry, whenever I want to fuck a man, I'll just look at your hairy asshole. You are so hairy! The reason I like to fuck you from behind is because it feels like I'm riding a magic carpet. If a small Asian boy started waxing your body, an old Asian man would finish waxing your body.
I shave, it just grows back. Bobby, you tried to cheat on me with prostitutes. Yeah, but they drugged and robbed you. You literally couldn't get sex if you paid for it. I love you. Sorry. We'll get through this. I like the prostitutes. I use their hypno, but I use it on myself.
Harriet, I proposed to you on Christmas Eve, which you thought was really romantic. It wasn't. I did it because that way, when we do divorce, I've ruined Christmas for you. I'm gonna sign the papers on your birthday.
At least you'll have got me a present this year.
Let's go!
Bobby, Bobby, you were sorry. Bobby!
Stop saying my fucking name! Just do the joke!
Okay. Bobby!
No, you did it again!
Okay, you were put up for adoption at birth, which makes one thing clear, that your mother had better intuition than I do. I love you. You're the only person that I've ever met, though, that looks adopted.
I think I look nice. Harriet, you're allergic to raw fruits, raw vegetables, and nuts. How are you still alive? I didn't want to marry you. I just thought I'd fuck you for a while and you'd die.
Harriet! Bobby!
I mean, I'm made of questions right now. I love that. I thought you both absolutely brought it. Fabulous. Great joke.
Thank you.
I have a couple of questions. Harriet, you're allergic to dust, fleas, dirt, and nuts, and yet you married that. Russell, what do you think? What do you think of this roast? It's amazing, right?
Yes, this was a very good roast. Were it not the fact that you kept saying Bobby and I love you intermittently, I was able to see through the looking glass of the roast to the love that was behind it, and it was that that was comforting me, as well as some other things I do beneath this desk to get me through this. It was a very beautifully formed roast.
Thank you.
I thought you both did an incredible job. I was at Bobby and Harriet's wedding. I love them both. I respect them both as comedians. They're so good, and I love that they're married. It's good to, like, go into a marriage already disappointed and not wait for it to develop over 20 years. Bobby is adopted, but your children will not be adopted, though they will claim to be, and that's a shame.
Sorry, you're not allowed to breed, are you? Seems like a terrible idea to me.
Well, she wants kids, and I want to adopt because I was adopted, but we're going to have kids and put them up for adoption.
That's a great compromise.
Compromise, you know?
I think this is like maybe one of the best roasts I've seen, just in terms of a married couple coming on and just tearing strips out of each other and clearly absolutely adore each other. It's just wonderful to see. I absolutely love it. I love it. Who do you have as the winner of this? I know you love them both. I know you're going to say they're both great. Tell me who was better.
In a marriage with Bobby, I'm sure she's used to coming second or mostly never. And on this occasion, I'm putting Harriet first.
What do you think, Russell?
I feel an affinity with you, Bobby. There's something about you. It's your vulnerability. You're clearly a man who struggles with substances, and I think I never came back from that switcheroo with the sex workers. And for that alone, I will support you.
I mean, it's incredibly close for me. I think you both wrote brilliant jokes about each other. I think purely it came down to the final joke, and I think the final joke about you look adopted, for me, I've got to give it to Harriet.
Yeah!
Harriet wins! Told you better again.
I got the best wife! Your wife's a shit! Your wife's shit! Your wife's shit! Your wife's shit! You all have shit wives!
What do I think of Tez? It's hard to think of anything about Tez because no one knows who the hell he is.
Dane Baptiste is a poor man's Craig Charles, a pauper's Lenny Henry, the parole's Richard Blackwood.
I'm going to be actually nice to Tez because the fact that he's getting some TV work makes this an act of charity, really.
I'm dressed for his funeral because tonight he's going to die. Metaphorically speaking.
Give it up for Dane Baptiste! And Tez Ilyas. What do you think about this battle, Jim?
I mean, I'm very much looking forward to this. Tez, I loved you in Guess Who?
Okay, here are the rules. Rule 1, it's 5 jokes apiece. We know this. Rule 2, nothing's off limits except for physical contact. And Rule 3, Catherine says she's found physical contact. It's been a while. Jimmy, who do you want to see go first?
Well, I don't want to sound like airport security, but I'm going to randomly select Tez.
Dane, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Tez, are you ready?
Yeah.
Are we ready?
Aww.
Your neck looks like a cheese grater.
All right, Dane, a lot of people describe you as a pioneer for black British people in the arts. I agree. My favorite thing that Dane has ever done is he did the voiceover for Uncle Tom's Rice. Oh, no, sorry, I mean Uncle Ben's Rice. You set black people further back than O.J. Simpson.
You call your fans Tesbians, which sounds a lot like the name women call themselves after they sleep with you. Women have sex with Tez and then they're like, you know what? I think I prefer vagina. It's still as hairy and tight as he is. I think Tez should give his fans a name which is a lot more accurate, imaginary.
Thank you. Dane Baptiste, you have been described by The Guardian as the British answer to Chris Rock. What The Guardian left out was the question, which was, who is significantly less funny than Chris Rock?
Okay. As you know, Tez is a British Pakistani Muslim, which features a lot in his comedy because he wants the British public to be able to take a walk in his shoes. However...
Oh, shit.
Let's have a look at what's inside these shoes.
Are you guys seeing that? I mean, what pilgrimage did you go on to get a foot like this, Tez? I'll call this what this is. Tourism.
I mean, I did send you that in confidence, but okay.
Last joke.
Dane, your last solo show, your most recent solo show was called God. Quite an ambitious title. You see yourself as a comedy god, which is weird because everyone who saw your show is now an atheist. The show also got 2-star reviews, which is weird because when I'm driving my Uber and I mug someone and I strip them naked and leave them in the Forest of Dean, that is still a 3-star review.
Tez has a saying, which none of you would have heard of because most of his acts happen on Radio 4. Which is harsh to have a Radio 4 show, Tez, because that's old people that can't leave the radio, which is a hostage situation. You should know better. Tez has a saying, which some of you may have heard before, which is, once you go Asian, you get the persuasion. Which, again, I think is inaccurate. The real phrase should be, Tez, once you go with this Asian, after penetration, you have to experience premature ejaculation. And the only reason you got this occupation is because Romesh Ranganathan had a vacation. And you're a cunt.
We're starting a rap group called the Box Tickers.
I liked it. I think you guys avoided a lot of the kind of stereotypes. I was stood next to Dane at the urinals earlier, and I can tell you, he lives up to some of the stereotypes. He stole my phone. So good. So fun. Russell, what did you make of this?
Very good roasting styles, Jimmy. Again, it's a very classic roast here because what we were experiencing is two very distinct roasters. Now, Tez, you went in hard with a lot of brutal references. The O.J. Simpson thing, you're in early with that. Dane, you came back very, very hard with that rhyme thing, which was elegant, beautiful, poetic, the continuation of the hip-hop tradition, and then finished it elegantly simply with the word cunt. Is all about. Now, I thought a very, very good joke that I enjoyed enormously was the Radio 4 show being a hostage situation. That was clever. It was an attack on conventional media and went very, very near to, may I say, Islamophobia, as you probably are entitled to due to your own pigmentation and complex racial relations. But I myself, as a white person in a position of privilege, best not go near. Enjoyed the specificity of the Uber joke. Very, very specific. The Forest of Dean. The perfect forest for a sex crime to occur in, I suppose. And for you to go to the trouble to bring a photograph of your friend's foot to work, I think is actually moving. And that is the tributary nature of a roast. Well done, both of you.
If you can try and get the image of Tez's trotter out of your mind. Catherine, what did you think?
I loved it. I thought you both did really well. Dane, you were very clever to attack Radio 4, though I enjoy appearing on Hostage Radio. It does a lot of great programming. I am a Tesbian, but on this occasion, I think I have to give it to Dane.
Of course, we have to pick a winner. Russell, who do you think?
Jimmy, as you know, it's never easy to come to a decision in these situations when you're dealing with roasters of this calibre, but I am going to give it to Tez. I have just recently become a Tesbian, and so, yes, Tez.
I think because of the cheese grater, because of the Uber joke, I'm going to give it to Tez. I think he has it.
The Tasmanian Devil, Tez wins! contact. And rule number 3, just like Jimmy in an orgy, don't stop until someone starts crying. Jimmy, who do you want to see go first?
Well, I know that Sofie Hagen is a passionate feminist, which I think is adorable. I happen to know a little bit about feminism, so ladies first. That's right, isn't it, love?
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Thanks for having me. It's so nice to be here. I've always wanted to work with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Thank you. It's just quite nice roasting someone who looks exactly like Casper the Friendly Crack Addict. I think that's quite nice. I could have said that you look like a Holocaust survivor, but you don't. You look like you survived.
Sophie's Wikipedia page is impressive, and it clearly states, without a shadow of a doubt, that she is in fact a land mammal. But I do genuinely love Sofie. She is one of my best friends. I love her to bits. You could say that Sophie's a woman after my own heart, because hers is under such strain, she needs a transplant by the time she started.
I usually talk about some quite important topics on stage, so roasting Larry is a nice change. It's just a bit hard because most of you have no idea who he is, and I Googled the name Larry Dean, and Google was like, "Oh, hi Larry, you're back."
Sophie's been through a lot in her life. Her dad left her just after she was born. In my mind, it's because he's a paedophile and he thought, I'm not fucking that.
Thanks, Feminem. Larry suffers from claustrophobia, which is the fear of small rooms, which is sad because those are the only rooms he can play. Larry sometimes stutters, and I know he's afraid that the audience won't be able to hear the jokes, but I think it's so brave calling them jokes.
Sofie has a body that most women envy. She's a 36 double D. Unfortunately, though, that's in both her knees.
Last joke.
I don't really want to do jokes about Larry being gay because there are no gay jokes that Larry hasn't already lost awards doing. But I will say this. For people who say that Larry doesn't look gay, they obviously haven't seen Philadelphia.
I was going to do a joke about Sofie having her own gravitational pull. Then I remembered how easy her dad found it to leave her.
Well, I mean, I thought you both did fantastically. Very, very funny. I'm amazed you didn't mention the obvious Kim Jong-un in a Bjork wig. I know who you really are. What did you make of this, Catherine?
Larry Dean, Sofie Hagen, two of my absolute favorite comics. Sofie, you are savage, the most savage thing to come out of Denmark since the Muhammad cartoons. And Larry, you're a man from Glasgow who's finally met someone with a shorter life expectancy than you. So that's exciting.
Russell, what did you make of this?
This was a very, very beautiful roast. I enjoyed Larry's technique. It's the roasting equivalent of the boxing body head. He moved between weight issues and then back to the personal father issue. Just when you think he's going to work that body again with the jokes about body image, he goes back to the incest father joke. A great trope in the roast, but to use incest and your father leaving you, that's remarkable cruelty. That's algebraic. And the conclusive moment to say to a gay man, that he may not seem like a stereotypical gay man unless you have the reference of Tom Hanks dying of AIDS in Philadelphia. That, again, that's apex, that's bullseye, that's roasting bullseye, that's fine roasting.
Got to pick a winner.
God, this is what makes judging so hard. Moments like this, you know how committed I am to judging. Judging's everything to me. Without me judging, I've got nothing. See, I learned my judging on the streets. I'm a street judge. A lot of these people, they're educated judges, not me. Street judge. I think because of the aforementioned body-head combo, I have to give it to Larry Dean on that basis.
I love the confidence that you had roasting each other. It was very cruel, as Russell mentioned when he was analysing his data.
That's right, it was all in the analyses.
Yeah, and I do love it, and I know you're very mathematical about these things as a street judge. But I just have to say that constantly referring to the dad leaving as a single mom, I have to say that sometimes the dad leaves because we beg him to. We beg him to. Go away! Get out of my life! And so I've chosen Sofie as my winner.
I think Larry was slightly more hurtful and slightly more brutal and slightly more cruel. I'm going to give it to Larry Dean.
My relationship with Matt is I've long suspected he's one of my Twitter trolls who says stuff about my hands and leg.
Alex and I are good friends. He's got me on speed dial, which is a good job because otherwise it'd take him a week to phone me.
I'm different from Matt in the sense that I'm a good person. I think he's about to go on national TV and try to take the mickey out of a disabled man. I wouldn't do that.
Oh, I'm going to win the battle. I'm going to fuck him up. I mean, more than he already is.
It's Unspun versus the last leg. Give it up for Mair, Forde. And Alex Brooker. Okay, here are the rules. Rule 1, 5 jokes apiece. I know you can't count that. Rule 2, nothing is off limits except for physical contact. And rule 3, jokes about your mums are double points. Jimmy, who do you want to see go first?
Well, I know that Alex hates being patronised as a disabled man, and why would anyone patronise you? You're a very brave little boy. So I think he should get to go first because you know.
Al, you ready? Matt, you ready? Yeah. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Matt's mum actually stopped being a nun so she could have him. Literally, somebody fucked the god out of her. She abandoned her faith for that. A cross between an apprentice loser and the reason why women shouldn't get in unlicensed cabs.
There is a bright side to Alex having small hands. It can make other things look a lot bigger. Like his talent. To be fair to Alex, today's roast battle is one of many battles he faces, including his daily battle to wipe his own arsehole.
Wow! You went straight in on the hands. I mean, you're right. I mean, the wiping the arse thing is fine, but the other thing they're good for is counting the number of viewers on your shit fucking shows. Ladies and gentlemen, there was a long time in my life when I thought that God was punishing me. Until I met Matt Forde and thought, oh no, he definitely hates this cunt more. I mean, look at you. You've got eczema, which even I think is minging. To be honest with you, he makes me feel good, because I would rather have the hands and the leg that look like someone has raped a bowl of ready breck.
A lot of people say that this Conservative government has unfairly targeted the disabled. But Alex Brooker being on telly every Friday is proof they have not gone far enough. When the last leg finishes, Alex will be able to count his TV offers on one hand, which by the looks of things is 2.5.
Matt once interviewed Tommy Robinson from the EDL, and that must have been absolutely horrendous for Tommy. You try arguing that whites are superior while talking to a man that looks like what the doctors found fatally clogging your stepdad's arteries.
It's great that they have diversity on the last leg. Opposite an able-bodied comedian, every week we get the opinions of someone who is severely unfunny. Alex's comedy idol is Ricky Gervais, and it shows in a lot of his mannerisms and the way he does comedy, but at some point he will have to stop pretending to be Derek.
I mean, to be honest with you, mate, you're going to have wheelchairs chasing you all over London after this.
Last joke.
Matt's idol is Tony Blair. Which just goes to show you what a mad prick he is. Sat there in his little wanking den, night after night, searching on Pornhub for Tony Blair kills a Middle Eastern child because it's the only thing that now makes him come. And by the way, that's not a dimple on his chin. That's actually been worn in by Blair's cock.
Alex drives, despite his severe disability. Alex drives a totally unadapted manual car, which is great news for him. Bad news for the grieving families of that bus queue of pensioners. And to be fair to him, he stands as an inspiration to millions of disabled people, and also stands as a warning to would-be mothers not to smoke while pregnant.
Jimmy, say something.
Well, it's clearly the sweatiest battle we've ever had. Tremendous stuff. Catherine, what did you make of this?
Well, first I thought I'd be uncomfortable with the bullying of the undateables, but... I'm not used to seeing you on your own without Josh Widdicombe fake laughing to your jokes.
If you're here, Alex, who's on Channel 4 pretending Adam Hills isn't hopelessly sanctimonious? Well, that begs the question. He's very important, he's told me. Russell, we need some sports-style analysis.
Well, Jimmy, that's exactly what you're going to get. Now, what What we saw here, the discerning roast connoisseur will have realised is the classic rope-a-dope. Alex was doing all the hand jokes, bringing Matt into uncomfortable territory, but also letting the gas out of the hand jokes as it went. So the hand joke was losing its potency because Alex is brilliantly using those jokes himself. But by the time we reach the conclusion, during which we've had a monosyllabic wallop, none, mum, fuck, God. This is performance art attacks. He prefaces it with his own hand jokes, then weighs in with some beautiful classic roasting. We've seen some excellent work, and the threat of wheelchair charioteers chasing this man down the streets, terrifying. And he did a brilliant thing, is that he saved it, very much like Ali in the Rumble in the Jungle, lured Matt in before releasing his very, very cruel conclusion. He'd not mentioned Blair. He uses Blair, chin cleft, with knowledge of his opponent. Absolute classic roasting, beautifully done. I think some great work from you, Matt. Let's not forget the horrid remark about Derek. Wonderful. And the counting of the TV offers, brilliant. But I would say strategically there can be only one winner here.
I think it's a close call. Who have you got? You've got Alex, right?
Yeah, because it's excellent work. It's bobbing, it's weaving, it's deadly.
OK. Catherine, who have you got as the winner?
Matt Forde is such an incredible comedian. I love your show, Unspun. I love watching you on tour. But for me, the winner is Alex.
It's very, very close for me, but I'm going to go unanimous decision. Alex Brooker, you are the winner.
My game plan is very simple. I'm just going to do the jokes that I've written, and I'm not going to fuck them up.
Joel Dommett, he's good looking, quite funny. What angle do I take? He got caught wanking on the internet, so I'm going to talk about that for ages.
I'm afraid of Ian's mum more than I'm afraid of him. She is an absolute terror.
My biggest fear is that he highlights the fact that I'm essentially a budget Joel Dommett. I'm not quite as good looking as him, I'm funnier than him. That's all I've got.
Ian's mum is actually a really lovely lady. She once cooked me a lovely lasagna. So many layers. I don't know how she did it. Oh, sorry.
It's good-looking comedian versus good-looking comedian. So basically, fuck these guys. Give it up for Iain Stirling. And Joel Dommett. Gentlemen, here are your rules. Rule 1, it's 5 jokes each. Rule 2, nothing is off limits except for physical contact. And Rule 3, don't stop until one of you is crying. Jimmy, who do you want to see go first?
Well, Iain, you present children's television, so a lot of your fans have to get up for school in the morning. Why don't you go first?
Thank you, Jimmy.
Ian, are you ready?
Yeah, man, it's fucking
Joel, you ready?
Absolutely.
Are we ready?
Yes.
Let's roast!
But if you don't know Joel Dommett, he rose to fame on I'm a Celebrity. He was basically unknown until showing up in the jungle in 2016. Basically, Joel Dommett's got the same career trajectory as the Zika virus.
Thanks, mate. It was a popular virus. Iain Stirling, you are a Scottish sex symbol, which basically means you've got teeth.
I try to think of a subtle way of doing this, but fuck it. You got caught wanking on the internet. You got caught wanking on the internet.
Thank you. I've got 500,000 Instagram followers.
But I'm not going to do any more punchlines for the rest of the show. Basically, I'm going to set it up because I've heard that Joel Dommett's really good at finishing himself off.
Iain, it's lovely to be with you here today because I'm very inspired by your career, and it's nice to know that this is what I'm going to look like when I've given up on my appearance and I just do voiceover. Slapped! I'm such a meanie. Such a meanie. Go cry home to your mum.
Your mum's seen you wanking on the internet.
It's true. She used to have a Google alert on my name. That was taken off.
Joe Dommett wanked on the internet. I don't know if I've mentioned it.
Thanks very much.
It was bollocks naked with a beanie on. You wank like you perform comedy without enough material. And the material you do use is badly utilised. I'm actually slightly worried that Joel's fans at home might not recognise him, so Joel, if you don't mind, could you just pop that on?
Yeah. Thanks very much.
I'm having flashbacks.
The annoying thing for you, Iain, is now they've got his hat on, they've got to use that really shit joke in the edit. So,
That joke's so meta.
your name's Iain Stirling, spelled I-A-I-N. Your mum was so drunk when she gave birth to you that she forgot how to spell Iain. I thought that was better than that. No. I think it's the hat.
Now you've taken that hat off, that shit joke's going to make the edit.
Oh, shit.
Last joke.
Okay, I think we can all agree that Joel Dommett has got a fantastic physique, everyone. Look at this. It's beautiful. It's actually well known in the industry that Joel Dommett goes to the gym every single day to work out whether or not he's gay.
Good job.
And actually, he does. His body is a temple. On his bicep, he is tattooed pi to 100 decimal places. He's basically Rain Man, if Rain Man was an unoriginal hipster prick. But then again, Joel does beat Rain Man, because Rain Man hasn't got a sex face you can Google.
Thanks, mate. Your last two unsuccessful relationships, Iain, ended in the girlfriend taking the house. You have housed more bitches than Baptiste dogs home.
Iain Stirling, Joel Dommett. Okay. Okay, now, Russell, what did you make of these two?
I liked it. I thought it was a very lovely battle, underscored as it was by love. You finished very strong, Iain, which, as we know, is normally your department, Joel. Thank you.
Obviously, you got catfished, right? Were you quite secretly pleased? Because it's such a great show you wrote off the back of that. Have you considered maybe a follow-up, maybe a
sequel?
Yeah. Knock another one out, come on.
The problem was the angle. I've got such a low coffee table. It's just upwards, you know? It's like everyone takes selfies from up here, like they haven't got any chins. I've got a chinny dick. It's horrible.
The angle was not a problem for me, Joel.
Thanks, mate.
It's really difficult for me to criticize it when your cum face is my screensaver. He's not embarrassed about it. No. And both of you are lovely boys. You know that I think you're both very funny. I love you very much. But the shows that you work on, I mean, I'm a celebrity in Love Island. I mean, there are daytime hookers with more professional integrity than you both.
And that's coming from a place of knowledge.
Yeah.
All right, well, I thought you were both really, really funny this evening, and you both entered into the spirit of it. You were both great, but I suppose we have to pick a winner. Russell, who do you think?
If we have to select one person due to the requirements of the show, because you can't just have what we conclude is everyone's basically the same and let's love each other. That's not the spirit of the thing, is it, Jim?
It's not exactly the spirit, but it's a lovely point to make.
Yes. Otherwise, why have a set that looks like a post-apocalyptic nightmare?
I thought I was in Laser Quest. Go. It's nice that my funniest joke is after the roast battle.
Yes, this is good. It's like after the bell. You're striking now, landing blows. All of a sudden, he's come back out of nowhere. Unshackled from the pressures of roasting, you really bloody come alive, Joel. I bet as soon as you'd come on your belly, you were really virile. I'll give it young Iain because of that sort of, at the end, I thought it was a brutal conclusion. So, Iain.
Yeah. What did you have, Catherine? Who do you think?
I had it very close. I had Iain at 2, I had Joel Dommett at 3.
OK, well, it was pretty close, but I think the winner is... I think it's Iain Stirling.
Iain Stirling's the winner! Hug it out! Yeah!
What do I think of Finn Taylor? I don't know who this bitch is, but she's getting roasted.
I've never met Paul before, but I think he's a fucking disgrace, and I'm going to enjoy taking him down. Well, I'm pretty sure that Paul's going to throw the race card at me, so I'm going to pick it up, wipe my ass with it, and chuck it back at him.
Game plan is going in there, guns blazing, take this mother out quick. Well, with 5 jokes.
Give it up for Finn Taylor! And Paul Chowdhry! Okay, here are the rules. Rule 1, it's 5 jokes each. Rule 2, nothing is off limits except for physical contact. And rule 3, remember, if you lose, it's not the end of the world, just the end of your career. Jimmy, who do you want to see go first?
Maybe Paul should go first, because he knows his way around a joke, and that's why he's so good at avoiding them. You look a little bit, I'm judging just by the facial hair, like you've been radicalised by the gays.
I've got that one-way ticket look.
All right, Paul, you ready?
Yeah, man.
Finn, you ready? Are we ready?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's difficult doing this because I don't know who the fuck this lanky bitch is. I had to Google Finn Taylor, and Google said, who the fuck is Finn Taylor? Then I had to phone his agent, and his agent said, who the fuck is Finn Taylor? I mean, Finn, is that short for fingering your own arsehole?
Well, first, it's an honour to be up here with Bollywood's leading Prince impersonator. I got to tell you, it's fascinating to know what Prince would look like if all the sex he'd been singing about was non-consensual.
Well, Finn actually comes from the same area as former Prime Minister David Cameron. Finally, we could put a face to that pig he fucked.
Well, look, Paul's right. Paul's a vastly more successful comedian than I am. He can make tens of thousands of pounds just from touring alone. And even though I'm nowhere near that successful and currently in my overdraft, I'm white. So here's a list of things I can do that you can't. 1, run through an airport wearing a backpack. 2, get caught speeding in America. 3, go to America.
Finn does ironic racism. One of his shows was called Whitey McWhiteface. I love darkies, don't you, Finn? Mummy and Daddy own 3. It's hard for you for having an Indian man talking down to you. How about now? Can I take your order, please?
Number 4. Visit my nan. Number 5. When I'm in town not doing anything, it's called pottering. When you do it, it's called loitering. I mean, it goes on a bit.
Finn, I heard you were pissing blood and went to the doctor, and the doctor stuck a camera down the end of your urethra. Does it bother you that the inside of your cock has been on TV more than your fucking face?
You're right, Paul. I am a white, middle-class, privately educated, straight man who's never been on television before. Do you understand how funny I must be to have got this gig? Like, Let's be honest, mate, you're only here so Comedy Central could feel better about this honky gangbang over here.
I don't think you put me up against UKIP. Finn.
Last joke.
Finn, I sold out Wembley Arena. You can't sell out Wembley Market. There's one thing you can guarantee at a Finn Taylor gig. Terrorism will never affect your shows, because no fucker turns up. I phoned up ISIS and I said, you ever gonna bomb a Finn Taylor gig? They said, who the fuck is Finn Taylor?
Paul's a very successful comedian. Obviously, successful is not the same as respected, but... Hey, now, Paul is very good at what he does. But people find you so creepy. Like, say, for example, it came out yesterday that you had, like, an underground lair filled with, like, animals that you bred them to make new types of animals, and then you fucked them. Everyone's response would be, yep, sounds like Paul.
Break it up, break it up, break it up. Wow. Okay. Jimmy, what do you think about this?
Well, Paul, I mean, you've got to like the aggression there. I mean, he said some very unkind things to you, and that is what roast battle is all about. Russell, what did you think?
Yeah, it was very good, you know. It was certainly a very vicious battle. I felt a little bit sick and uneasy because of the vitriol. Certainly it captured the spirit of it. There were points in it where I began to question what we were creating here, so... Well done, both of you. It was a lovely prop joke. That was nice. A lovely sort of flash of innocence that I clung to when I watched that little ladder of paper reaching for the floor. It made me feel a bit better. So I think it was a very, very good battle and some wonderful physical comedy. I mean, just looking at it from an aesthetic perspective, it was fucking funny. Well done, both of you. Thanks.
I really liked it when you asked, does Finn stand for fingering your own asshole? I love that. That was silly. Yeah, a lot of talk. You are, of course, different backgrounds, but you managed to look alike.
There's a slight difference, yeah. This beard must have taken him about 15 years. I grew this on the walk up.
I didn't know comics were cultivating beards in place of personalities now, but it seems to be the case. If Hollywood made a movie about you, Paul, they would cast Finn to play you, though.
So, Russell, let's call it. Who've you got as winner?
I think Finn had a very beautifully structured sort of aria of hatred in comparison to Paul Chowdhry's constant plundering loathing. There was a beautiful architecture to Finn's hatred.
OK, so you're going Finn. What do you think, Catherine?
It's so close that I'd have to call it a draw and then lean towards fingering his own asshole and vote for Paul because that was just a real sweet spot for me.
I think I mean, I've scored each individual joke, and I think I did it as fairly as I could, and I have Finn Taylor as the winner.
White people win again, Finn Taylor! Hug each other. Hug it out.
What I've done to get ready for the fight is I've just been walking around being horrible to everyone I meet.
I've been training for this battle by binge eating to get it sort of into like her frame of mind.
Alex should really win it. He's got the type of ego that I think really needs to win something like this, whereas I'm fine.
She certainly knows her way around the ropes, but it isn't Sunday, so I think I've got a good shot.
It's UK versus America again. Give it up for Jayde Adams. And Alex Edelman. Ew. Jim, what do you think about this battle?
My money's on Willy Wonka. Now, full disclosure, Alex is dating, for real, in real life, Catherine Ryan.
Oh!
I don't think it's fair to single Alex out because we're dating. I'm fucking a lot of comics on this show. A lot.
Let's get to the rules. Rule 1, it's 5 jokes each. Rule 2, nothing is off limits except for physical contact. And Rule 3, who do I have to fuck to get a green card in this country? Jimmy, who do you want to see go first?
Well, Catherine tells me that Alex always comes first.
All right, you ready, Al?
Yes, sir.
You ready, Jay? Let's roast!
Jayde, I'll make this quick. I know you have to start hibernating soon. Jayde's mom was just in hospital, I found out. She had a broken ankle? Yeah, she had a broken... Doctor said she broke it carrying an adult daughter for 34 years.
She's gonna fucking love that. All right. A lot of people are gonna be expecting me to go down the Jewish route. All right?
Sure.
But I don't think it's clever nor funny to associate an already oppressed demographic with someone like Alex. As a proud Jewish man, did you really mean to have your hair cut like Hitler?
Thank you, Mrs. Goutfire. There's an old saying that you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. But if we used all of Jayde's stones, we could kill literally hundreds of birds.
Oh, Alex.
Whoa.
Alex. Alex.
I forfeit if you stop.
Alex.
That's the first time anyone has said your comedy has a lot of layers, honestly.
If we are going to go down the fat route, Alex, have at it. It's really nice to see Alex and Catherine in the same room at the same time, like this, because normally when Alex and Catherine are together, she's carrying him in a papoose.
All right. Thank you, Ellen DeGeneres Portions. Jayde is a huge fan of Adele. Sorry, I fucked that up. Jayde is a huge fan of Adele. Jayde is so unhealthy, her sweat comes in mild, hot, and barbecue.
I was shocked to find out that you had parents. Because I just assumed that you'd been made in a laboratory where they were trying to discover pure smug.
Last joke. Jayde, you remind me a lot of Whitney Houston, because you're an opera singer, right? Jayde has a magnificent voice, and I can imagine her getting into a tub and never getting out.
What he's on about is... I just thought I'd do a bit of it.
Thank you, Amy Winehouse.
Alex has performed in hang on, I'll do that again.
Jerusalem.
Yeah, I know how to fucking
okay.
say it, mate.
All
Shut
right,
your
all right.
fucking face. Alex has performed in Jerusalem. And he instantly became the only thing in that region that absolutely no one wanted to claim.
That's right. Hey, Alex, keep it going.
Oh, a great battle. That's a great battle.
Awesome.
Hello, Russell, what did you make of this?
This was beautiful roasting. We saw many of the classics of the form. Early Jewish reference there and a reference to the haircut of Adolf Hitler in the same joke, bringing together key themes of anti-Semitism and the Holocaust and the Fuhrer, who many think was a bit of a bad fellow, into one single joke. Also, we saw the escalation of references of female celebrities used, also fused together with weight references, a beautiful collage of cruelty there. This is excellent roasting, very, very beautiful, well done.
Jayde, I can't believe you went for him like a West Country sea witch. You went after my boyfriend. And I just feel like you should be nice to me because we have the same agent, and my success is the reason she can afford to take financial hits on passion projects like you.
Hang on. If I can see Russell's hands and I can see Jimmy's hands, then who was making the porcelain doll speak?
That's quite nice, actually.
Hey, if anyone looks like a ventriloquist dummy, it's this guy. I'm going to ask you first. OK, let's get to scoring from the judges. OK, Catherine, what do you think?
Alex, I haven't been attracted to you in months, if I'm honest, but watching you do this has lit a new fire inside me. This is what you do best. I choose Alex, my boyfriend.
Russell, what did you have?
I've been analysing the data, Jimmy. Like, you know me, I take my judging seriously. This is it.
Sure.
This is my life. Without judging, what the hell have we got? If we can't judge each other, what is life? Just meaningless data without anyone reaching a verdict? We have to come to conclusions, and in conclusion, it's Jayde because she starts with Hitler, she ends with Jerusalem. There are great themes there.
Alex, I thought you had great jokes in there. Jayde, I think you had incredible showmanship, and I'm going to award it to Jayde. She's won the roast.
Wow. One time in a long time. Baptiste, America. Jayde wins.
Being Mark's son gives me tons of ammunition for this battle. Like, I could bring up that he's got a relationship record like Henry VIII. To be fair, he only beheaded one of them.
The thing with Elliot, he's a little arsehole anyway. He doesn't have to be my son to be that.
Mark should totally fear me in battle, because if he doesn't behave, I'm not going to tell him how to work the TV remote.
That's right, we're keeping it in the family. It's father versus son. Give it up for Mark Steele. And Elliot Steele. Jimmy, who do you like in this one?
I mean, I'm excited about this. Mark Steele is one of the original alternative comics in Great Britain, an elder statesman of British comedy and an absolute legend. Couldn't be more thrilled to have him on the show. You know, and that guy.
Here are the rules. Rule 1, it's 5 jokes apiece. Rule 2, nothing is off limits except for physical contact. And Rule 3, if you think it's going too long, do what Mark should have done 21 years ago and wrap it up. Jimmy, who do you want to see go first?
Why, there's nothing sadder in life than a son going before a father. So I think Mark should go first.
Beautiful. Gentlemen, are we ready? Are we ready?
Elliot, as they'll all hear in a minute, you like to talk like this with a South London gangster thing, you know, and you advertised one of your shows once as tales of being brought up on a rough Croydon estate. Elliot, you were brought up in a semi-detached house 100 yards from South Norwood Lakes where they go yachting. I can only imagine those tales must have been, it was like ghetto blood, like when a man's got to walk a minute from his crib to go sailing and shit, you get me?
here. Here. And here. Sorry, it's just that the last time me and my dad were stood in front of judges, this is what I had to do.
Strangely, that makes me so proud. Elliot, we tried everything to get rid of you. Everything. Everything. And including after you were born, we tried everything. I remember ringing social services and saying Pete Doherty was your babysitter. I actually handed you to a child trafficking gang so that I could ring the next day and say, as long as you never give the little shit back, no harm will come to you. I have a particular set of skills. And if you try to give the wanker back, I will find you and I will kill you. Oh, God. Money. Oh, I hope there's no hell.
Dad. It says a lot about your career that after all the other 1980s comedians got done by Operation Nutri, you still struggle to get work. You used to kill in the 80s, but not so much anymore. You're the comedy equivalent of AIDS.
Last joke.
I've always thought it's an honour to have a lucky son. And you've done me proud with luck, because so many times I've just looked at splodges on the sheets and thought any one of them sperms would have been better.
Dad, I'm going to give it up to you a bit. You have done a lot of cool things in your career. Like you write for The Independent every week, which is also your relationship status. You lonely bastard. But the TV career, it never quite worked out, did it? You've killed off more pilots than Al-Qaeda.
Hey, Catherine, what did you make of this father-son roasting? Not your first, I would imagine.
No. Fathers and sons don't usually open up to each other in this way, and now I can see that convention exists for a reason. I mean, it was incredible. Elliot, you look like a drug dealer who's too stupid to make money from it.
What do you think, Russell?
What a fine battle it was, Jimmy. The bar was set quite high when a doll was brought out and its genitals pointed to. Brilliant, brilliant roasting stuff. Classic in many senses.
Just say something at one point here. Not many people have said this. You should listen to Russell Brand.
Well, I suppose we have to score this. What do you think?
I think the real competition is which one of these single boys is going to sleep his way through the female comedy circuit fastest. And judging by everything I've heard, my money's on the dad.
Russell, what do you think?
I'm supporting this young lad. I'll tell you why, because I think some of the things that Mark Steele said to him are very hurtful.
I think on that basis, Elliot has it by a whisker. He's beaten his own father.